Hello, everyone. Val Selby from Bundle Bash, and I am here today because we're going to have a conversation about one of the participants that's in the current Spiritual Entrepreneur Expo, and talk a little bit more, get to know her, and I definitely have questions of words that you use, terms that you use, and what
I
in the
like it.
world. So I'm looking forward to this. Thanks for being here, Wani.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah. So
So,
I really love when we do this bundle because it's always bringing new things in to my realm, as I get a little bit more woo and lean into it, and not freak out when I say woo and feel like I have to apologize because, oh my gosh, I'm going to get woo. Calm down. Don't get offended. It's like, I'm at that point now where I don't get offended. It's like, yeah, let's embrace everything. Everything.
so true. Absolutely.
So, what product did you put into the expo?
Well, I put in a bundle. It's an ebook and an e-workbook that kind of goes together. And it's about unleashing your potential, specifically about, working through those limiting beliefs that we can have, especially as we're heading out and we're creating our own things and stepping into those spaces that, you know, maybe we're just starting in those spaces and transitioning into what you've learned and putting it into practice. And that
Yeah.
can be really difficult sometimes to make that transition. A lot of times, you talk about the woo and not feeling bad about saying that, getting into that business when, like I'm the only one in my family that's not religious. And so it can be really awkward to talk about what it is that you do, and
Sure.
not just, in your family, but just out in public sometimes, because what are people going to think?
Yeah.
And really working through that, because when we're worrying about what other people think, we're like blocking our own like creative flow at the end of the
Mhm.
day, and our
Mhm.
ability to channel those messages into us and do the work that we're supposed to be doing.
Mhm.
And so I really found it was really helpful for me. And so as part of it, it's like, other people have got to find this helpful as well,
Right.
moving through these spaces. And so, yeah, I really enjoyed doing it. And there's, some little like freebie in the workbook too that I think that you mentioned that you were interested in knowing more about.
Yes, absolutely. Because you use the term soul chants, and I'm like, what? Haven't heard that one
Mhm.
before. So, what in the world are soul chants?
So I really like it's affirmations are great. And they sometimes, when I hear the word affirmations, I think it's all positive. And I'm really about balancing, and not even so much balancing like 50-50, but our ability to find our center amongst those light and dark energies that we all
Mhm.
have in us at the end of the
Mhm.
day. And so, really being able to sometimes sit with some uncomfortable phrases and things like that to remind us of where
Yeah.
we are and what we need to work through, and to take mindful moments to just, reframe. We have to alchemize all of those thoughts, those beliefs that we once held, because they're not serving us anymore. And
Mhm.
instead, kind of twist it and turn it to where it can help prop us up and keep us going. And so that's really for me what Soul Chance became. And so I do that. I made a specific one for this ebook and e-workbook
Nice.
around limiting beliefs, but I have them for like the zodiac signs, for the Sabbats, one to work with the elements, because these are all things in the natural world and the seasons that we move through.
Mhm.
We all have the various zodiacs in our charts. When we move through the season, it picks up that's already in us and kind of brings it to the surface. And that's sometimes why we act a little weird and out of character sometimes. It's because it's pulling that stuff up. And so really being able to, sit with these different phrases. And I actually pulled up some of them on here. And because,
Awesome.
I've got like 40 of them in there. And so like one of them was around, I release the fear of stepping outside of my comfort zone, embrace the growth that comes with taking risk.
Mhm.
Because risk is scary.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It is. Yep.
it
I've done
really
a lot of
is.
that in the last 2 years, and even today, I sent an email to my previous coaching list and said, "Hey, I need you to follow me over here because I'm closing this list." And
Yeah.
typing that out was like, "Whoo! I'm letting all of these a couple thousand people go." It's like,
Yeah.
because it's time to move on, right? And yeah,
It's
so I
true.
knew, see, every time I meet with somebody, there's always exactly why I need to meet with them, because I like that soul chats. Because I
Yeah.
mean, yes, I dig affirmations. I absolutely love affirmations. I love focusing on the positive, but life
Yeah.
doesn't just have positive.
It's true. It's true.
And
I really enjoy that. I really enjoy like exploring the different emotions that we have. I was really good at logicking my way like into how I needed to be and what was wrong with me and moving through trauma like mentally, but really like sitting through the feelings, like that was
Mhm.
the hard part at the end of the day. That was the hard part.
It's very hard. I am still working on that because
Yeah.
for decades I was the queen of denial. I always told everybody, if you want to come with me, just jump on my boat. I'm on the denial. You can come on there. And we'll
I love
pretend
it.
that none of that stuff's
Mm.
happening. And then yeah. And now I know that you can wait. And then at 40, it will possibly just come crashing down.
It's true. It's true. And it's not even just, these ages that we hit. There's these things that happen in these experiences that we come across in our lives that will shake everything up, when we
Mhm.
lose somebody. I mean, that's probably a big one. When you lose
Yeah.
somebody close to you, it really makes you step back and question, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, is
Yeah.
this even who I want to be anymore?
Right. Yeah, that's exactly when I've had my two major growth periods,
Yeah,
was, the loss of two parents. Yeah. It's like,
yeah,
yep. Yeah, you really sit and you're
absolutely.
like, okay, what do I want going forward? What do I like? Who do I not want to be anymore? Like you said, which is part of that soul chance, which is why I
Yes.
really like that, because I think when we ignore those parts that we don't, for lack of any other word, don't like about ourselves, I think when we ignore them and just squash them is where we're missing the biggest growth.
It's true. I couldn't have said it better myself. It's we have to be able to let them die in many
Yeah.
ways, and so I really like
Yeah.
focus on walking people through that death and rebirth cycle that we go through in many moments in our lives, being able to let go of things and actually feel them, grieve them, move
Mhm.
through that grief, grow around the grief.
Mhm.
It's not so much about like healing or getting rid of it, but like moving through that so that you make room for what's possible at the end of the day,
Yeah.
the new experiences, the new opportunities. And not that it's all going to be sunshine and rainbows, but that's also part of it. Life's a great
Yeah.
teacher if we will let
Yeah.
it be.
Yeah, it's hard to have the emotions. I know, like you said, but when I was in denial, all I was doing was burying all of those emotions. And what I've learned and am still learning is when I embrace
Mm.
those emotions, the icky feeling passes quicker rather
Yeah.
than holding on to it with for like dear life.
Yeah.
It does pass quicker. I mean, it hurts like a mother, but it's
It
like,
does, and it's gonna come in waves. It'll I don't know, at least for me, it goes, the immediacy of it does, but it still sometimes comes up and it's like, the wave that kinda you didn't see kinda
yeah,
coming out of nowhere a little
yeah,
doesn't hit so hard like the very first time, but,
yes.
those emotions are gonna come and they're supposed to, like
They should, because that's actually a celebration, right?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, because
that's
it means
memory,
it
that's
means they were that important in our life.
and it means they're still here.
Yes. Yeah,
At least, yeah, it's kind of definitely how I look at it. That's part of what
yeah.
I do as a shamanic practitioner. I do a lot of psychocomp work. I work, and with my own family that has passed,
Mhm,
and being able to find ways to still be present with them and still
mhm.
find the ways in which we can communicate with each other. It's never going to
Yeah,
be like it was. Like you
yeah,
have to be able to move through that. But,
right.
leaning into, the woo, for lack of a better, these are
Mhm.
things that we have been doing since the beginning of time at
Yeah,
the end of the day.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
they're
Um,
ancient practices.
Absolutely. Everyone, by the way, I forgot to remind you to make sure and give StreamYard permission if you wanted to leave a comment. So we'll be able to see it. See, I'm still new to StreamYard. That's like the first thing I'm supposed to leave in with. That's leave that comment.
Oops.
So I love, so let's just talk just a tiny bit, because we are a spiritual entrepreneur expo, of what kind of soul chants could we add to helping us in our business, and just one or two, one's good.
Let me see. I'm like looking through.
I know, I just like threw it at you.
Yeah. So I release the need to compare myself to others and focus on my own unique journey and strengths. Like that's a big
Yes.
one.
That's a
Yeah.
huge one. It's a huge one for everyone, but especially I think in the spiritual niche. Because like you were saying, it's hard enough. Here you are, you need to do this, you want to do this, and you've got everybody else that it's just like they don't get it, and
Mm-hmm.
how do you
It's true.
explain to them?
And when you're just getting started, I think even more so because you're looking around and you're going, oh, well, somebody's already doing these things.
Yeah.
Like, there's no room for me.
Mhm.
And that was a big one for me to get through, like trying to
Was it?
figure out what my unique voice was going to be because I had so many interests. So
Right.
I've trained formally as an herbalist. I'm certified as a death doula, and I have worked with clients on both of those. And so it was like, where am I going to focus? And it took me some time walking down those
Oh
paths
yeah.
and really like finding myself through those and how I wanted to show up, like learning how I wanted to show up
Mhm.
and learn to let go of the expectation of I needed to look like this or this because this is what was popular out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, because this is what everybody's doing in that line. So yeah, so it must be working, because that's an assumption we all make as entrepreneurs. Well,
Yeah,
if everybody's doing it this way, that must be working, and
yeah.
that is bullshit.
It
It's
really is. It's
100%
it's
bullshit.
limiting. It's so
Yes,
limiting. It's putting you in
yes,
this box. And when you get put in a box that you don't even like, I mean, of course you're gonna get burnt out and run
yeah,
out. And
yeah,
you're gonna start questioning yourself. What am I even doing? I shouldn't even be
yeah.
here.
And your soul chant is perfect for that, because that answers your question of what you're saying of, how do I fit in? You don't. That's the thing. You
Yeah,
don't fit in. You can only succeed if you're being yourself
yeah,
and doing what you want to do. And one thing you were saying, because you said you were going, to this and this and this, because you had so much experience in different things, which
yeah,
we all do, which is
yeah,
sometimes the tough part. Is, I just want to mention for everybody else, it is the hard part, because you've got, I can do this, I can do that. But the beautiful thing is when you give yourself permission to try this, to try that. Because I mean, I'm in year 24 now, I'm being online. Believe me, the amount of things that I have done over all of that time, I couldn't even go back and count. There's just no way. There's stuff that I've
yeah,
even forgotten that I gave a try to. But it led me to right here,
yeah,
to loving exactly what I'm doing, because I tried this and I tried that. So, you guys, you've got to get in there. You've got to give different things a try. Listen to that soul chant all over again, because you have to be you for sure.
You really do. I mean, you have to be willing to start examining what it is that you want. And that's where so that's the journey that I go. It's you
Yeah,
examine, you explore the different ways, then you start experimenting, and then you find your expressions through that you
yeah,
resonate with at the end of the day. And I think that
right.
that's a really important journey to go on, and it can be difficult, but it's okay. That's
Yeah,
part of it. That's how we
yeah,
figure out because I really I will say, like, I really protested hard against niching. And like, I was like, I don't want a niche. And then over time, it helped me understand that I needed to find out how I was going to talk to people.
yeah,
And you can't talk to people and like blurt out all of this stuff and think that they're going
yeah,
to be able to take it in.
yeah, yeah.
You're going to scare them away.
Yeah, yeah. And when you get it, you get it. And when you fight it, I mean, I don't think that there's any real like I don't think there's gray in the whole thing with niching. And I get it, because I didn't get it until I understood. And
Hmm.
then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, look at how many email replies I'm getting from people, because they thought I was talking directly to them.
Yeah.
So they hit reply, they answer my questions, they
I love
engage.
it.
It's like, Yep.
And that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So another one is that, let's see, I believe in myself and my vision, even when others may doubt or criticize me.
Uh-huh. That's a
Hmm.
big one.
Yeah, I
That's a
mean, what
big
you're
one.
doing means it's supposed to mean something to you. And that
Hmm.
passion is what helps drive and fuel us, even when things aren't going well.
Yeah. And there will always be people out there that, are not in good spots in their life. And they're going to say things, and it has nothing to do with us.
It's
All
true.
to
Most of
do
the
with
things
them.
don't have to do with us.
No, it's all to do with them. So we just have to try and remember that, and sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it hurts. Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's going to hurt
But
our feelings. Yeah.
yeah, we still get to have hurt feelings. Yeah,
Yeah.
even if we're embracing it and working through it. But that's another one. See, you've got all these are just 2 soul chants, you guys. 3. We just talked about just 3. Exactly why you need to get into the bundle and go get her. Unleash your potential. Working through limiting beliefs as a solopreneur. Super on topic. And limiting beliefs, everyone, are not something that ever goes away. I know you don't want to hear that, but there's never a point when you aren't, as an entrepreneur, going to be pushing yourself and trying new things. And there will always be a limiting belief that pops up. I just shared with you that I've got, I start freaking out when I was going to close my list. It's like, oh gosh, those are people that, what if, what if, what if I need to come back to
Absolutely.
that?
Hmm.
It's
It's
like,
hard
it's
to
okay.
say goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Trust it. Trust that you are
Absolutely.
doing exactly what you need to be doing, because you probably are. So
It's
I'm
true.
excited for thank you. I love
Thank
that
you.
you're in the bundle, and I appreciate you being in the expo. And I look forward to digging into your product to get some stuff out of there, because I
Awesome.
love Soulchants. I love that you took a word and took ownership of exactly what you want it to mean.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
that's part of being a creative at the end of the day. And I
Yeah.
think we all have that capability within us. And it's just
Yeah.
unleashing it at the end of the day.
Right, absolutely. So
Mhm.
before we close off, we're doing excellent on time. Look at us. Before I close this off, do you have anything that you would like to leave everybody with? You've already
Ah,
given such great information.
for those who sign up to purchase the bundle through my link, they'll get a $40 gift certificate to my online store. And so there's other
Awesome.
e-workbooks and Soulchants out there. So
Awesome.
definitely let me know.
Awesome. 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 So she'll be sending out about it, and you're in the Facebook group. So add your link underneath this video when we get done with here,
Perfect.
and have everybody follow you over there, so they can get that from you. And this is awesome. I'm so excited, everyone. This
Thank
is
you
our
for having
first
me.
chat with some of the participants in the expo. So I'm looking
So
forward to
excited. It's some
more.
really great people. So definitely
Yes.
check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff in there. All right, everyone, go grab your copy of the bundle, and you can grab her product. And also, I think there's 31 more is the exact number. 31 more. Plus, we have the summit, so you can sign up free for the
Hmm.
summit portion right now until the 5th.
Absolutely.
All right.
Awesome.
Have a good day. Thank you, Wani.
Thank you. Bye.